Is Mental Health Awareness Month. And while the world gets louder, we decided to go deeper. This summit has been a month-long virtual series with real conversations featuring some of the most powerful voices in wellness. And today's final session is the final session for May, and it is no exception. It's going to be a phenomenal conversation. And we are talking about my favorite subject, which is joy. But here's the thing. Today is the final conversation for the summit, but the conversations will continue after today. So stay tuned to learn more later in this session. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. And if you've been here all month, thank you. Either way, you picked the right day to show up. Now, let me share a little bit about me, and then I'm going to start by asking you a question. How many of you came into work today running on empty? The answer to that question is the reason we created the summit, because that used to be me. I'm Julian B. Chiganda, joy architect and founder of Soul Therapy Media. In 2022, I attended 6 funerals in 1 year and experienced my own mental health crisis. What pulled me back was getting intentional about joy. So y'all see why it's my favorite subject. And it changed everything about how I show up and how I help others do the same. We're a creative wellness agency built for leaders, HR professionals, and people and culture champions who are responsible for everyone else. We support organizations with corporate wellness programs, live events, and corporate branding that embed well-being into your culture. Because when your people thrive, retention improves, culture shifts, and the bottom line reflects it. This summit is that work in action. And if you're ready to bring a holistic approach to wellness in your organization, let's talk. Now, what I'd love to do is bring in one of my phenomenal co-hosts for the summit, Dr. Jovan Jackson.
Hello, everybody. This is
How you
so
doing,
awesome.
Dr. Jovan?
I'm so excited. I'm feeling bittersweet.
I
This
know.
being our final session, it has just been amazing
It really
all
has.
month long. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry that this is it, but it's not quite it. We'll talk more about it, but at least the summit part is coming to a close. But I'm excited about the conversation today. I'll share why it hits home personally for me. And so, but just for those people who maybe chiming in for the very first time, I'm Dr. Jovan Jackson. And I'm the founder of Good News Financial and Investment Advisors. We are the beacon of hope in the retirement readiness and financial wellness industries. We promise tailored educational workshops for corporate teams for maximum employee engagement, productivity, and sustainability. We also serve entrepreneurial executives who just may be concerned with market volatility. You're usually writing big checks to the IRS every year, and they just find themselves in this cycle of draining and replenishing their savings to finance their lifestyles or businesses. So we come in, we show them how to grow their money safely, drastically cut their taxes, and become their own bank so they can save and generate more income in retirement. So if any of that resonated with you, I love to have a conversation to see how we can support you personally or your organization in your financial wellness endeavors.
We're about to get them coins. We're about to get them coins. I'm going to let you go ahead and shout out our other 2 co-hosts while I grab the wellness card for today. So keep on going.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to shout out our other 2 co-hosts. This has been a collaboration, a group effort, and it has been beautiful. We have Miss Kiara Fenderson of the Ambition Studio and Lakeisha Vini of Divine Wine Jelly. We all believe that wellness is a we thing: mind, body, money, identity, community, and joy. And we've covered it all this summit. Okay. So if you've missed it, don't worry. We have replays. You can catch them and we'll give you that details later. But before we dive in, I absolutely would be remiss if I did not shout out and give a special thank you to the Washington Informer. They have been our official media partner. They have been helping us amplify this important conversation all month long throughout our community, throughout their community, and beyond. And it's been a wonderful thing. So if you haven't officially registered for the full summit yet, listen, be sure to check out the link in the show notes to receive the links for all the replays to every session that we've done and hosted this month, as well as information about our upcoming in person. Yeah, we're taking it offline, bringing it in the room mixer that we're having in June, and it'll be in the DC location. We'll tell you more about that shortly, but yeah, definitely register so that you can still get access to all of the replays.
And it's going to be so good. I'm so excited about meeting some of these folks that have been with us during the summit in person.
Absolutely.
So definitely make sure you register. If you could post that link for registration in the chat, Jovan, I'd appreciate it. And before I bring on today's guest, we have a thing that we do in the beginning of every session, which is pulling one of these daily wellness cards that was created by Soul Therapy Media as a way to bring wellness into your day in a very, very way that's practical, but also very impactful. It's a 62 card deck that is actually therapist endorsed, and each card covers a different dimension of wellness to help you improve your well-being holistically. So today's card, which is very appropriate, is Choose Joy. Joy is a choice, and it often shows up in small, unexpected moments. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, a song that makes you smile, or a kind gesture from somebody. Let yourself experience it fully. When challenges arise, that same energy can help you face them with clarity and calm, guiding how you respond. Why it works. Focusing on the positive helps your brain tune into opportunity and pleasure, making it easier to meet life's pressures with a clearer mind. And I know that to be true.
Yes, Lord, we need that reminder of what to do in times of challenge, for sure.
And Lord knows we can use a whole lot more joy right now in this world. So I am excited to get our guest on. So Jovan, I'm going to see you a little bit later. I'm going to introduce our phenomenal guest today. We talk a lot about mindset in wellness spaces, but today's guest doesn't just talk about it. She lived it in the most literal way possible. In 2013, she diagnosed herself with stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma and made a decision in that moment about how she was going to face it. Y'all, I can't wait to have you hear her story. She is so phenomenal. Not just medically, but also mentally, spiritually, and linguistically. That linguistic part, you're going to hear more about that because that's really important. She chose to co-manage her own care through a treatment approach that combined chemotherapy with integrative strategies. And what she discovered on the other side of that experience became a book, a keynote, and a life mission that she carries into every room she enters. She's a board-certified chiropractic internist, award-winning author, and Hodgkin's lymphoma survivor who has spent her career showing people that the words we choose to shape our identity, our stress response, and our capacity to face anything life throws at us mattered. Her book is called Positively Altered: Finding Happiness at the Bottom of a Chemo Bag. And today, one of you will have an opportunity to win a copy. Please welcome Dr. Cindy Howard.
Julianne, I'm so happy to be here. Good morning, good afternoon. I don't know where everybody's at. It doesn't matter. It's a good
all
day.
Over. Everybody is all over. I am so excited, first of all, that you made it.
I know, right? I was like in between patients. The girls in my office were like, you got to get on. I was finishing up. You know what? I'm here. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in this moment.
You are absolutely. And you know what? I respect it because, you know, as you all can see, she's in her work gear. So she is really, listen, she's about it, right? She is the real deal. You can't get any more authentic than that.
Julian, I was watching you guys, your intro, and I'm smiling right behind stage is the energy that both of you just exude. And I'm like, You got the matching lipstick to the shirt. Dr. Jovan had the matching lips. And I'm like, I don't even like, I needed hairspray. I don't even have the lipstick. So yeah,
Listen,
this is the work look, Julia. And that's what you guys are
you
all
don't
getting
you don't
today.
need all that. You are the joy. You are bringing the joy. We can see the light coming from you. But you know, I really the thing we like doing is really setting these conversations with data that backs up why these conversations are so important. So
Right.
the data says that a study found that optimistic women had a 16% lower risk of dying from cancer and a 30% lower risk of dying from any major disease compared to the least optimistic women. So the reality is your mindset isn't just affecting how you feel, it's actually affecting how long you live. And I know you can co-sign on that, Dr. Cindy. What are your thoughts on that finding?
Yes, right. I mean, I'm just going to say yes, because here's the reality. Your brain believes exactly what you tell it.
Yes.
It does. And that's the gift in the ability mentally to participate in your wellness, right? Whether it's physical, spiritual, emotional, personal,
Yep.
professional, it really doesn't matter. What you tell yourself is it becomes your truth. So if you believe you are well, if you believe you can overcome disease, if you believe and tell yourself you've got this, you do. And if you believe you can't, you're right. And it really it sounds so simple, but it is
Yeah.
that simple how
Yeah.
powerful that messaging really is.
Yeah.
So the answer to that is yes.
Absolutely. And you're living proof of it, like literally,
I am.
right?
I am.
Literally. We're gonna get into your story actually, because in 2013, as I mentioned in the intro, you diagnosed yourself
Mhm.
with stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma. And
Mhm.
most people in that moment would have been consumed by fear, right? Because that's the first thing you're thinking, like, oh my gosh, you just life flashes in front of you. But you made a very different choice. Take us into that moment and what shifted in you, and why did mindset become the center of how you approached what came next?
I got lucky. And I know that sounds a little silly, but when I was walking through this, and there's stages of walking through it, right? It's the initial, I had a lymph node pop out of my neck. I thought, this is weird. I'm getting sick. Didn't get sick. And I went through a series of testing. Well, I was in my office. It was a Tuesday. I'll never forget. Tuesdays are like my Mondays now. Everybody doesn't like Mondays. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily love Tuesdays, although I've learned to. And I was in between patients when I decided to walk to the fax machine. We still got faxes back in the day with test results, not just emails.
Yeah.
And I decided to look at my biopsy results. And it was sort of a mistake, right? Because I needed to be focused in what I was doing, but I didn't care. I knew they'd be sitting there. And the reason I got lucky is because I was actually at work. So I know as a clinician that my job, when I walk into the room with a patient, it is 100% about that person in the room. It's not about me. I'm a tool. I'm a set of education, right? I'm there to help provide and guide people. None of that is ever about me. So when I looked at that and went, and it's a word I shouldn't say online, right? I had that
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah. That
And I
moment. Yeah.
and I started to go down that rabbit hole. I went, can't do this. I have somebody waiting down the hall for me that needs my full attention.
Mm.
And what was really interesting is when I walked into that room, and it's very odd how the universe works. She was crying. She had just got a phone call while she was waiting for me to walk into the room that her mother was diagnosed with cancer.
Wow.
So the gift for me was to go, right, this person needs me now more than ever. And with the ability to refocus on that person, it was almost like I gave her the message I needed to hear. Right. So
Yeah.
that treatment that she paid for was actually really for me that day, in
Wow.
order to shift that mindset of, no, I'm going to tell my patients they've got this. Why would I not deliver the same message to myself instead of the rabbit hole I was starting to run down when I read the results? And
Can I just
no,
pause you for a second right there?
please.
Because that is so powerful. I think, to your point, and it was a blessing, right, in disguise, that you were at work when you found this out, because you didn't have time to sit by yourself and wallow in it.
Nope.
But I think that for me, I feel like one of the deeper messages in that is that, when you're going through something, whatever it is, whether it's a, disease, a diagnosis, or something really tough in life, look at how you can actually support others, because in helping others, you're actually helping yourself. And I mean,
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
powerful.
It is. We do. We learn from that, right? And
Mhm.
it's interesting, that saying of like you get more than you give
Yes.
really becomes true when you do that. And that
Mm.
internal selfishness that most of us tend to move toward
Yeah.
is really self-defeating versus the
Mhm.
external giving. Again, you get more back. And it's unbelievable how much I have gotten from others just
Mm.
unintentionally
Yeah.
through that journey by recognizing the fact that sitting in this isolation when you're going through any adversity is not a real great place to sit.
Yes. And you know what? That really underscores the whole theme behind this summit, which is wellness is a we thing.
Mhm.
You cannot get well in isolation. Humans were created to connect and socialize with each other. So thank you for emphasizing that. So let's talk about the neuroscience. Because it's funny. The more I've gotten into this wellness space, the more I just have gotten to the science of it. And it's just fascinating when you start realizing that the science and spirituality are really the same thing in just different
Mhm.
languages.
Yes.
Um, but the science always helps to support the how and the why. People should consider doing something, right? So there's real science behind what you're describing. Research shows that words we use to describe our experiences directly shape our neurological and psychological response to them, which is kind of what you experience. Can you break that down for us some, and what is actually happening in the brain and the body when we change the language we use about our circumstances?
Yeah, so language can actually affect us in different ways. We look at it metabolically, we look at it chemically, right? We look at it from a neurotransmitter standpoint and how we're feeding the actual chemicals that produce the happy feeling
Uh-huh.
that we feel. And without getting too technical, medically wise, I give you a perfect example just in how
Yep.
language can shape our energy.
Uh-huh.
Um, Salutation. How many times do we walk past somebody, we see somebody, and we just say, "How are you today?" Julian, how are you today? And the
Uh-huh.
typical answer is, "I'm good. How are you?" "I'm fine. Thanks for asking." Right? And
Yep.
just as I'm describing it, note my energy. But if you say to me, "Cindy, how are you today?" And I go, "You know what? I'm absolutely fantastic." Or, "You know what? I am the perfect version of myself at this moment. What is going on with you? How are you?" Just that shift in the way the brain recognizes those words that are considered positive words chemically can
Uh-huh.
release some of those neurotransmitters in a way that actually elevate joy and happiness. And we
Mm.
we don't think about that, right? When we answer, we go through a routine and we
Yep.
answer. So when we're under stress, which is where a lot of this stems from, right?
Yeah.
Please also understand that the body doesn't differentiate between a good or bad stress. It just knows it's under stress. So when you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm late to work today and my kids were driving me nuts and I'm fighting with my spouse and my best friend is ticking me off," and right, whatever
All
those
the
things are,
things.
instead of like, "You know what? Oh my gosh, the kids pushed me today to show me that I can overcome a time challenge and we got to school a minute late, which didn't affect anybody. And you know what? I know that, work, I probably should have been there at 9, but I've got a little extra time at the end of the day. I'm going to put in 5 extra minutes to solve those issues." And
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this opportunity with my spouse and my best friend because something's been underlying it. Now I've been given the gift to actually communicate with them and work
Mm.
through this issue.
Mm.
And think about how empowering, right?
Mm.
Now, that second version
Yep.
can be with the same problems.
The same exact thing.
Same
And it's really
problems.
about reframing how you look at a situation.
Yes, because they're all amazing.
Yeah.
They're all amazing. But what we do is we affect sort of the chemical composition of how the brain responds and how the adrenal glands, which are your stress organs, respond
Mm.
with the release of cortisol and
Yes.
norepinephrine and epinephrine, which are your
Uh-huh.
stress hormones.
Uh-huh.
And and when those get elevated in a bad way, right? Now
Uh-huh.
we feel the physical emotional effects from the language that we used
Yep. Absolutely.
in going forward.
And I feel like we've kind of touched on some of this in other conversations during the summit, but that also really touches. I'm going to speak specifically to women when it comes to you're looking at menopause, perimenopause, all those that time frame, and how the cortisol and whether or not you're going through that, but cortisol is such a driver of weight gain, holding on to weight, disease, like so many things. So this is beyond just science. This is about so many other things. And I know for me, the thing that I've learned is the more stressed I am, the harder it is to lose weight.
Yes. Okay. So I have a secret. I'm going to share a secret.
Yeah.
When we go through menstruation, teenagers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are supposed to have zero symptoms. So headaches, mood swings, hot flashes, wanting to kill people for no reason, cramping, low back pain, constipation, all common, totally abnormal. When we go through perimenopause into that menopausal state of no longer menstruating, you are supposed to have zero symptoms, no hot flashes, no mood swings, nothing.
Mm.
The problem, the challenge, I like that better. I always correct myself. It's
Yes.
not a problem,
Yep.
it's a challenge.
You do.
The challenge we have, especially as women, is we are taught that it's normal and we're taught to accept. And we
Mm.
sit around with our girlfriends complaining about all of our symptoms and comparing
Yeah.
instead of having been taught that there's something wrong in the body that needs to be corrected and fixed so that we can feel amazing. So start using the words common that we go through it, but none of it is ever normal. And I want women
Mm.
to recognize that because we don't have to suffer through all of those stages because there are ways to make those
Wow.
corrections. And also remember any symptom you have, whether it's menstrual related or not, is a sign that something is wrong in your body that needs attention. You're not stuck with it. All
Wow.
it is a signal to pay attention to it.
That's good, and that is so important for us to know because we get so used to just holding on to these things and it becomes normal and it's not. So
Right.
we're gonna have to bring you back for a whole conversation about that because
Okay.
that's just opening up a whole Pandora's box, but it's all related to it because even in all those symptoms, words do play a role. So
Hmm?
let's talk about one of your phrases. I believe that you used. I don't know if it was in the book or in your. I think it was in the book. But try me, not why me. Right. So the title of your book, Positively Altered, and the phrase "try me, not why me." Both speak to a very distinct perspective on adversity, right?
Mhm.
Where did that come from, and what does it actually mean to someone who is in the middle of something really hard right now?
Yeah. I'm going to take it back a little bit. As I told you, Tuesdays were an interesting day for me.
Yeah,
There's a book called Tuesdays with Maury, written by Mitch Albom. And I don't know, I read it decades ago and I never reread a book ever.
yeah.
And when I walked through this experience, there was some little passage that I remembered from there about taking 20 minutes a day to feel sorry for yourself, and that's all you get.
Mm,
And that's the why me part, right? And I did that. I used to sit on my shower floor with the water running down. I would hide from the kids. I didn't want them to see the why me part.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
would sit in the shower and I'd go, what did I do to deserve this? Right?
Mm,
Why
mm,
me?
yeah,
Okay. Why am I being punished? Right? All the
yeah,
normal things that I
yeah.
think we experience and think when something bad happens. Because, like, I'm a good human being, right? I'm
Mhm,
kind, I'm generous, I'm all the things that we aspire to be. So,
yeah,
what did I do? So the why me to a certain degree I will give people is still important because there's a grieving process and a process where I don't want you in denial of your adversity. Adversity is real, right? It does
yeah,
exist. Bad things do
yeah,
happen to great people. And we need to honor that a little bit. But getting stuck in the why me all day, all week, that's where now we change the messaging to where we can't get unstuck. The
yeah.
try me is okay, 20 minutes, that was it, dried off, got dressed, and thought I have 23 hours and 40 minutes to kick the crap out of cancer. And that's
I
the
love
try me,
that.
right? So you bring it. You give me your best shot at taking me out, and I'm going to push back even harder because that's
Mm,
how we overcome. So there's a delicate balance. The try me
yeah,
is important. The why me
yeah,
has to be honored, but
yes.
give it a small compartment in your decision making
Mm.
process so it doesn't consume you to where you can't, excel and overcome.
Function. Oh gosh, that is so good. That is so good. I'm put that somewhere in my office. Try me, not why me. And you know what I love about what you said because there is a such thing as toxic positivity, right?
Mhm.
Where everything, and there's also spiritual bypassing, where you try to avoid the issue
Mhm.
by acting like everything is okay, but the body keeps the score. So you can try to act as positive as you want. Your body gonna speak to you differently. So I
Mhm.
love the fact that you said to honor the challenge, honor the grief, honor what you're going through, and give it a time limit. So I like to say, I tell people, you can sit in it, but don't stay in it.
Mhm.
And once you
Mhm.
really start mastering that, I mean, it's such a huge part of emotional regulation because it really comes down to just a choice. You're making a decision like, okay, all right, I understand, like you said, this happened, but I don't have to accept it as my final reality.
Correct. So scream, kick, punch, yell, jump up and down, right? Like whatever
Yeah.
you need to do in that moment that it's painful, but put a time limit on it, right? Because actually it's okay. Like I want to give everybody permission to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
don't let it consume you, you know, and then
Okay.
so there's an interesting I'll also share with you there's a couple words that I think are really important, and that is have versus experience or walk through. And that was taught to me by a very dear friend when I was sitting with her at lunch. And I said to her, Wendy, I said, my girlfriend Wendy, I said, Wendy, I have cancer. And she said, no, you don't. And I go, I do. I mean, I got the biopsy results, like I have
Yeah.
cancer. And she explained to me, and it was really interesting. She's like, having is owning. Why would you want to own that? She said, experience cancer or walk through it. And it was in that lunch, and I can't even tell you where we met and what I ate, but I
Yeah.
remember those words of, she's absolutely right. So all adversity I walk through and I experience, it's real. But
Yeah.
I don't want to make it mine. Cancer, to this day, I'll never tell you that I had cancer.
Yes.
I experienced cancer.
Yes. Oh, I love that language. And I wanted to shout out some of the comments from our audience. Daniela says, Dr. Cindy, I love the reframe and the words you use for each space because words are everything. And she said she needs that poster too. Try me not,
Okay.
whiny. You might need to make that into a poster.
Listen, we'll get t-shirts and hats and, you know,
all the things.
we'll get all the things.
Yeah. Because I think we become so accustomed to just saying whatever comes, and we're not intentional about our language. And one of my favorite books on this is The Four Agreements, and by Don Miguel Ruiz. And the agreement I try to use every day, I mean all of them, but is be impeccable with your word. So I love how you're being so intentional about. I'm with you. I never say problem. I also say challenge, because if it's a challenge, it means okay. It just means it's going to help me grow. How can we work through it and figure it out? As opposed to a problem like, ooh, that's going to take me out. Like I don't even, So I love your emphasis on language, and the reality is, words actually carry energy. They have frequency. So when I tell you, you are speaking all my languages because I'm so intentional about the words that I say. And I even remember when we first met, our first conversation, I was like, oh my gosh, I just felt like a kindred spirit because we were so on the same page about so much of it. So let's talk about the leadership dimension, because you work with a lot of leaders, you work with a lot of organizations, you do a lot of speaking. So in your work with high achieving professionals and organizations, how does the language that people use about their stress, their workload, and their capacity show up in how they lead? And what changes when they start paying attention to it?
You know, it's interesting. I think as leaders, we're very unaware, to your point, of the energy that we transmit within a space among other people. And there's an expectation, I think, as a leader that we have, whether it's of one person or, a massive corporation, that we expect a lot of the people that serve the organization and the people that we provide for. And yet, how can we expect them to be at their best if we're not at our best? So and it's cliche, right? It's the lead by example.
Yeah.
Right. So, I walk into the office, my junk is left outside the door, my energy is high.
Yeah.
How can I support you today? It's to our detriment. The minute we complain about something, the minute we use a negative word, everybody else hears it. And remember, the brain believes what we say. So it doesn't have to be what I say to myself. It could be, Julian, what I said to you, or what I said that you overheard. And if you hear, oh, I'm really dragging today and the meetings are going to be rough and I don't know if we're going to meet the deadline on the project, why should anybody on my team believe anything different?
Exactly.
Because they just heard the lack of confidence that I had, instead of, you know what, we're going to rock this today. Bring your best. Let's support each other. Let's figure out where we can help lift to get this project done, because our deadline is 5:00 and we are going to make it today.
Yeah.
Right. And if we don't, the world is not going to collapse, quite
frankly.
Right?
I think that's the part that people miss. Like the world is not ending. For most of us, it's not ending.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And that perspective, right? Now, could it be a little more stressful because we didn't hit a deadline? Sure. And again, I don't want to take away from expectations that people have in leadership.
Absolutely.
I think the other thing that we just don't do well in leadership from a language standpoint is we're very quick to criticize, complain, put down. Instead of, if something isn't done the way we expected it to, how could I have communicated my expectations better to you? What can I do to facilitate a change in this outcome because I was looking for something different, right?
Yeah.
And help people help you.
Yes.
The other thing we miss as leaders is gratitude. It's
Ooh.
gratitude.
That
We're
is
very quick again to criticize, complain, critique, evaluate. We are not quick to just say thank you at the end of a project, at the end of the day.
yeah.
I'm sure I screw this up, but I would say with confidence 98% of the days that I walk out of my office, the last thing I say to everybody is thank you. Have a great
Mm,
day.
yeah.
Actually, thank you. Not just bye, see you tomorrow,
Yeah.
but thank you for all the work that you've put in, the effort, the care you've given to patients, the care you've given to me as
Mm,
your leader.
mm,
And I show appreciation. So we have to take the time to have gratitude
yes.
because we want to serve more when we're appreciated.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And it's interesting because there is a statistic that says that when you have happy employees, your company actually outperforms the competition by 20%.
Mhm.
There's so many things that go into that, but absolutely it starts with the leadership. Absolutely. And I would love to talk about how this also translates into your personal relationship. So yes, it's important to show that gratitude at work, but as a parent, as a daughter, a sister, or whatever that is, like how does that apply in our personal lives as well?
Great. What's wrong with you? Why would you say that? How could I support you to get that accomplished better?
Mm,
Right. And if you think about it, parenting is leadership. I mean, we're leading
yeah,
children into adulthood. That's our
yeah,
responsibility, right?
yeah.
I don't know that we're supposed to lead a spouse, but maybe there are times we do, or a partner
Mhm,
or a friend,
mhm,
because they need the guidance or they need the lift up.
yeah.
But it is about the elevation, not about the depression to elevate yourself. And I
Mm,
think that's key. Is as leaders, we try to elevate ourselves. Like,
mhm,
it's funny. Every once in a while, somebody in my office will refer to me as the boss, and I actually can't stand that because
mm,
when I show up to work, I don't walk in as the boss. I walk
yeah.
in as a team member.
That's
We're a team.
powerful.
We're a team.
That's
I mean, yes, I
powerful.
write the check, right? At the end of
Yeah,
the day, right? I write the
yeah.
check. But really, I want to operate as a team that's
Mhm,
trying to accomplish something bigger than myself. And if I walk in as the boss,
mhm.
that feels very like I'm elevating a
Yes,
pedestal,
yeah,
and that doesn't serve people well. So
100%.
in any relationship, I think it's about this level of equality that we need to sit in order to help each other get higher.
Absolutely. Like they say, teamwork makes a dream work. I mean, it's true though. You really have to
Yeah.
have, yes, you're a leader, but I love how you frame that as, yes, I may be your leader, but I am really your team member because I can't do this without you at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
And a great tool to institute too, and I love this, and I know I hear a lot of leaders complain about this, right? Like somebody will knock on the door and walk in with a problem. Awesome. Come to me with a problem and then offer me a solution. Now, I'm not so sure as a leader I'll always take your solution,
Yes.
or we might need to vet it, or we try it and maybe it fails. But be solution oriented in the concerns, because again, that's how we elevate. Because even as a
Mm,
leader, I would love to tell you I know everything,
yeah.
not even close.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
sometimes the person that has the concern is closer to the problem with a better solution than the person who just writes the check or leads the group.
Mm, and that is so true. I'm sure that happens more times than we can count, but I do think, to your point, not as many leaders have this mindset that you're talking about,
Mhm.
right? And so it makes it hard for their team members or their employees to come to them and say, okay, well, this is the challenge we're having, because they may not feel empowered to do that. So I think that is such a critical, I think, just shift for a lot of leaders to make, is looking at themselves as, yes, I may be your leader, but ultimately I'm your team member. Like we got to do this
Mhm.
together. So I love that. I love that. Um, Now, your story was born out of overcoming cancer, but the principles you're sharing apply to anyone
Mhm.
navigating something hard,
Mhm.
right? Grief, burnout, a career transition, a relationship ending, right? So, what do you want someone watching today who is in their own version of a hard season to understand about the role that mindset plays and language
Mhm.
plays and how they come through it?
Yeah, and you're right. Just replace the word cancer with any other word. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. And I've had
Mhm.
adversity after cancer. It just
Yeah.
happens to be my, about the book. So that's
Mhm.
where we sit. I think the reality is recognize it for what it is, right? Yes, it's adversity. It's here, and you're not going to escape it. But you're only stuck in it if you want to be stuck in it. I don't know if it's a
Mhm.
day, a week, a month, a year, right?
Yeah.
Time frames can be very long, but it's choosing to have the desire to get through it again rather than to own it.
Mm,
So if you own the pain, it's going to stay.
mm.
If you experience the pain, there's the lessons in that and the gifts in that you can find, but you have to be willing to and actually got to say it out loud, right?
Yeah.
Like almost like thank you for this opportunity to figure out what I need to learn. You know, I am absolutely, I know exactly why cancer showed up when it showed up. I do. And when I trace it back, I was running 24/7. I was ignoring my children. I was in complete burnout.
Mm.
Like I actually needed something to stop me in my tracks because I wasn't paying attention to what I needed to pay attention to.
Okay, I just need to pause you right there because that is so good. That whole thing of when something happens to you and we think it's devastating, it's the worst thing in the world. And sometimes you don't realize that's God's way, whatever you want to call it, universe, however you speak about it, of getting you to just pause
Mhm,
because you're going down a path that is not sustainable. So
mhm,
sometimes you need that thing that is going to get you to just take a step back.
mhm.
And it may not be what you're hoping for, what you're looking for, but it's often exactly what you need.
Yeah, I don't ever want to do it again. If
Yeah.
I had a do-over, which I know we don't, but if I truly had a do-over, I had a time machine and I can go back in time, I would do it again. And I would do it again because of what I learned, because I paid attention. And I'm grateful for it. Cancer
Mm,
was a gift. And I know that's a weird thing to say out loud, right? Because there's going to
yeah.
be people listening, they're like, she has lost her mind. And that also may be true. But
Oh.
regardless, the gift was because I was able to sit back. I mean, I got rid of toxic people in my life.
Mm,
I learned where the true friendships really lied.
yes.
I learned some amazing things actually about myself that I didn't pay attention to. I was able to reshift my focus. Do I forget some of those things? Absolutely. Do I need gentle reminders? Yes. But I am so good in the space that I am in my own skin because I listened
Mm, mm.
versus, and I can't prove this, but I'm convinced had I not listened, I'd probably still be sick.
Oh.
Still
So
be sick.
what would you say are some of the maybe one or two things that having cancer really taught you about yourself that you didn't know before you went through that experience?
Yeah, great question. One is I'm first. And
Mm,
not in a narcissistic, selfish way, but especially
yeah,
for women, right? Like everybody comes first, the partner first, the
yes,
kids first, everything comes first.
yep.
Knock it off, ladies. Like you serve better when you're in a good space. So it was, I have to
Mm,
honor the word no, which I never did.
mhm,
I said yes to
mm,
everything and everybody. So I
yeah,
learned to honor the no,
yeah,
and feel good about it. And that I'm still working on that 13 years later. That's still
yeah.
a hard one for me.
The process.
It's a process, but
Yeah.
it was to really truly put myself, my well-being, my mental health, my physical health first. That was number
Mhm,
one. Number two, and it's funny, I always had this midlife mantra. And by the way, I'm midlife right now. So I'm going to
mhm.
live to be 112. I'm 57. So
I
I'm in
love it.
midlife. Yeah, midlife.
I'm here for it.
Yep, midlife. But I always joke that I had this midlife mantra. I'll do anything once, twice if it's fun, three times to be sure. After walking through cancer, I changed that a little bit. And that is, if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, I leave. I'm
Mm.
done sitting at a party where I'm miserable. I'm done
Ooh,
saying yes to the baby shower for the person I didn't really care about. I am just done showing up in places that I really don't belong in because I don't want to be there. And I'm not trying to be a jerk, right? Like I'm not,
oh,
but
you're honoring yourself.
just start saying the no's in the places. And if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, it is okay to get up and
Mm,
excuse yourself.
mm.
So if you're in a job you don't love, if you're in a relationship you don't love, stop justifying, stop making excuses, get up, walk out. And I know it can't always be a literal walk out,
Yeah.
especially if it's a job, but get up emotionally and walk out and then figure out what you need to do to get into that space where you're happy. This moment right now, I'm enjoying.
Mm.
Right. And if this was a miserable conversation, truly, I would figure out how to get out of this. Right. I would have been like, you know what?
That part.
There's an
Yeah.
emergency in the office. Got to cut it short. Sorry about the
And it
audience.
would be believable.
I'm leaving. Right.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm enjoying what I'm participating in, and I'll tell you the third part of it, which I also think is important. And I'm going to back up. Years ago, I've also been through, I was going through a divorce at the same time
Mm.
I was walking through cancer.
Oh,
Somebody had asked me, when was the last time you had fun? And I couldn't answer the question.
Wow.
So I started asking a bunch of people that question. And you know what I got? I got a vacation, I got parties. People only equated to fun to these big, massive events.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? Cancer taught me to have fun in the little, like this conversation for me is fun,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Meeting you was fun. Me reading a book is fun.
Yeah.
And it's changing that mindset that the fun is not the big stuff. That's great. Enjoy it. But the fun is these little tiny moments every single day, right? That we want to honor and recognize. So in the moment you're in, be present. And cancer taught me that too. It's not what I'm going on vacation, right? I got a great trip planned actually in 6 weeks. It's not my focus today. My focus is right now in this space, in this moment to enjoy this. And when I'm on vacation with my kids, then I will be present and enjoy that moment.
That is such a good point, and you're so right. People wait for those big moments before they decide to experience joy. Like, okay, when I get out of this house, I'm gonna be, happy. It's always waiting for a future moment, not
Mhm.
realize, and that's why that the card that I read in the beginning, it really is about finding those moments in the everyday, because those moments are what stack up and they keep you going. So I'm so glad that you shared that, because that is so 100% true. We do not have to wait for those big moments and those big
Mm-mm.
vacations, the big okay, before we decide to say, you know what, I'm going to choose joy today.
And the little ones are amazing when you pay attention to them.
Yes, they
Sometimes
are.
they're even better than the big ones because the big
Oh
ones a
man.
lot of times let us down, right? We
Yep.
have this massive expectation,
Yep.
and then like the
So
plane is
true.
delayed, right? The boat doesn't leave the cruise dock, whatever it is, right? And then
100%.
we're let down because we just wrote a check for 20 grand for the, trip of the year and it wasn't perfect.
And you're like, I should have stayed home for this.
These little ones
Yeah.
are stunning moments.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. All right, I want to get into the 3 practical strategies
Okay.
that you gave us to share today, and I'll pull them up on screen. I'll have you talk about them so
Okay.
people can really, hear you.
Yes. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
So number one is I am, and I'd love to take credit for this. I don't know where I stole it, but I stole it. So I didn't create this on my own, but I use it all the time with patients. And that is, I want everybody to take out a piece of paper and your favorite color, crayon, marker, pencil, whatever it is that you write with. And I want you to write at the top of the paper, I am dot, dot, dot. And then I want you to write anywhere from 5 to 1,000 statements. I don't care how many you pick of I am statements, but here's the rule. They all have to be positive things.
Mm,
I am beautiful. I am sexy. I am brilliant. I'm smart. I'm an amazing partner. I'm a fantastic supportive mom. I'm a fantastic doctor. Whatever it is, I am. And I get some pushback because patients will say to me all the time, but it's not true. And I said, who said? You're telling your brain that it
mm,
isn't true, right? So I'll give you
yes.
an example, right? I mean, I told you I was a hot mess coming in here, from patients, right? I look in the mirror. If I walk into the mirror every single day and I go, I am beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are people watching this that are going, she's not that cute. She's just not pretty. She's
Mm,
not my taste. That
mm,
is okay. You are
mm,
entitled to your opinion to not find me
mhm.
attractive. But if I walk around every single day knowing that I am pretty, then guess what? I am pretty.
All
And if
right.
I look in the mirror every day and go, I am ugly, and some of you think I'm ugly, it's okay. But then I believe that I am ugly. So the I am statements are very powerful because what you're doing again is giving the message to the brain of what you actually are. And I start the day. So where a lot of people like to wake up, pray, breathe, meditate, not
Yeah.
taking any of those away, but read your I am statements out
Mm,
loud so that your brain begins to believe
mm,
exactly what you tell it. And every time, and then I love the crumpled piece of paper with these that you can keep in your pocket or your purse or whatever.
yeah.
The minute you're feeling self-doubt, you're sad, you're depressed, right? Somebody hurt your feelings, whatever it is, pull that out and retell your brain, I am
Mm,
fabulous.
that's good.
Okay. I
That's
even sometimes write it on my mirror in lipstick
yeah.
so that in the
Yeah.
morning when I brush my
All the
teeth, I'm like,
reminders.
oh, I am.
Yeah,
Right.
all the places. I used to put them. I remember I have to go back to doing this, but I used to put sticky notes all around my house with those I
Yes.
am statements.
Yes.
And it
But
does
say them out
help. Just
loud.
having those reminders. Yeah. Oh
Say them
yeah.
out loud. So read it, right? So it goes in through the eyes and then say it so that your brain actually hears it because the brain
Mm,
does believe what you tell it.
yes. Oh, that's so good. All right, let's get into the next step.
Okay. Okay. Second one, I just nicknamed the greeting. And we talked about this earlier. The next time somebody asks you how you are today, here's the 3 you don't get to use. Okay, fine, or good. Those are
Ah,
off limits.
tell that to all the teenagers.
Yeah. They don't even ask. They just text each other. They don't even talk to each other.
Gosh.
Oh, listen, that's a whole
God.
nother
Yeah.
hour,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
Just for
Yeah.
the teenagers. Okay. But I'm gonna tell them to. So okay,
Yep.
fine and good, off limits. Pick another word again, even if you're having the most horrible day as a salutation, you'll see how it changes. So, like if somebody says, Cindy, how are you today? And I go, oh my gosh, I am fantastic. You will be amazed. They'll either go, I'm actually pretty fabulous too. Or they'll go, what makes you fantastic? And then it engages in a whole different level of conversation. Now, if somebody really says to you, because again, if you walk into my office as a clinician and I say, Julian, okay, how are you really?
Yeah.
I mean it because I want to know, because I'm taking care of you.
Yeah.
Most people in passing don't care. It's a salutation. So
Yes.
lift everybody out by just picking a better word. So fantastic, fabulous, perfect version of me, make up your own.
Yes.
Do it as an experiment. Do it as a social experiment. Every time somebody asks you, bigger, better, bolder word. Let's see what happens.
I love that because I think I do that automatically. I hate saying I'm okay, I'm good. Like I hate that. So I usually do say things like I'm fantastic, I'm having an amazing day. And I remember when I started doing that initially, people will look at me like, girl, what is wrong with you? But I think they've just gotten so used to it now. It's just kind of like, okay, that's what they expect. So
But I'm going to challenge everybody that just watched you, Julian.
Yeah.
Even just in that explanation, your energy was low when you said I'm just okay, versus when you changed it, your energy again, just naturally, your energy was lifted.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to
Absolutely.
do for you
Work.
yourself. Even if the person isn't receptive,
Yep.
just you walking through the rest of the day is going to feel better.
Oh, words are powerful. 100%. All right, let's get on to the third one.
Okay, the third one I'm just going to call breathing language. Anytime somebody says something to you, breathe first. So we're very quick to answer and respond, right? Very quick. Question, answer, comment, answer.
Yeah.
Just stop. Take a big, deep cleansing breath and think about the words you're going to use in that response, right? Because had I thought a few minutes ago when I said problem and then I changed my mind and I said challenge, I didn't breathe before I answered, before I spoke. Had I done that, the word problem never would have entered the conversation. So the breath allows you to think about the intention that you want behind the response that you're going to make to anything somebody says. And we're afraid to pause.
Yeah.
We're afraid. We see that a lot in our speakers who fill it with and like all those things.
Yeah.
The quiet is where the change happens.
Oh. Yeah, it's that in-between space. That is so true. Because it gives people time for them to pause and think about either what you said or what you're about to say. So
And don't be scared by the quiet. People get scared by that.
Yeah.
The silence makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Learn to be comfortable in that and then speak.
Yeah, I love that. All right. I'm going to bring our co-host, Dr. Javon, back on because I know she got questions and all kinds of things to add to the conversation.
Man, listen, let me say this. And Dr. Cindy, I mean this with 100%. This has been my absolute best session out of the entire summit. And let me tell you, I was a guest expert. Okay. This session has been so powerful. Every single thing you said, I'm almost teared up. Every single thing you said was applicable to me personally and people in my immediate circle. I can't wait to go back. And let me tell you why else. And I didn't know this going in that I was going to enjoy this session, but I knew that this session meant something deeper for me because I'm dealing with right now a personal situation. My goddaughter, 28 years old, she is fighting a diagnosis of cancer. I don't say I've changed my language, and she's winning. She's winning.
Good.
And so I sent this to her. I'm praying that she's listening. But this message hits me differently. Another one of my girlfriends, and I hope she's listening too, you mentioned something about menstrual issues and stuff like that. I have some issues. I have several people in my community who are fighting these things. And so all of that you said has just blessed my entire soul today. And I know that several people that I'm going to be sharing this with, I messaged someone. I mean, anyway, I just love everything about you, what you shared today. It was just so authentic. And I would love for you to kind of reiterate what you did say about the menstrual issues. You went on to say something about, I took some notes,
Okay.
common versus normal,
Yes.
right? You
Yes.
talked about that, and you said about how the signs that we are experiencing, right, it's an indication of something. I would love for you to just flush that a
Sure.
little bit more for us, because I know many of our listeners fall in the perimenopause phase and menopause, right? So this will be a blessing for us.
Okay. So what I think we forget in the medical space is symptoms, any symptom, fatigue, can't sleep, hot flashes, cramping, pain, right? Those are symptoms. Symptoms mean it's a signaling that something in the body isn't working right. Okay. Then what happens is we wind up in this medicine space where we look for a diagnosis. A diagnosis is just a label of all of those symptoms that have accumulated. The problems that went wrong that gave you the symptoms now have a label. The way I like to practice, and this is why I really love to educate this way, is I actually truly don't even care about your diagnosis. I don't mean that the way that came out, but again, it's just a label.
Yeah.
I care the fact that you have symptoms that, again, might be very common. Some might not. There are rare symptoms that indicate something's wrong. And then we back up and we figure out what's wrong. Where are you imbalanced? What nutrients are you not getting? What enzymatic reaction isn't working right? What hormones are you not producing? And then when we figure out how you broke, we fix the broken, the symptoms go away, there's no disease. Right? So when you look at hormone disruption, right? And I mean, we could throw a party with millions of women who fall into this category, right? We get thrown into the space of, well, just here's your estrogen you should take, or here's your pellets that you should put in. And my question is, why do you need them in the first place? What broke on the pathway? What did your body do wrong that got you here? Right? Or we get labeled as now being crazy, or it's normal. I mean, I can't tell you how many times a patient walks through my door and says, I saw my GP, I saw my gynecologist, and they told me it's normal for your age.
Right.
Common for your age, right? A lot of us go through it at this age. But there's nothing normal about having a symptom. So here's the thing. I don't want you guys to be a hypochondriac, right? Like the minute you get one teeny tiny little symptom, don't run, right? Like give it a chance to see if it's going to hang tight. Because sometimes there's little misfires in the body. But if you have something that's bugging you for weeks, like, then you go and you say, here's my symptom. Come up with a whole laundry list of what could cause that symptom, and let's figure out the underlying cause. So yes, common, not normal. We've got to change that language. Men too, but especially for women, because we get labeled all the time.
All the time.
Just
awesome.
deal with it, ladies. And I'm here to say,
Yeah, no.
Fix it.
Awesome.
We can fix it.
Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask one more question before we share with people your giveaway and how they can find you, because I know after this, people are going to be like, I need more information.
Okay.
As I mentioned in the beginning of this conversation, our theme is wellness is a we thing, right? So that whole thing about community is so important. Most people try to navigate hard seasons privately, not wanting to burden others or appear like they're vulnerable. So what would you say to someone who is going through something difficult, right? And they're doing it alone right now. What did your own experience teach you about the power of letting people in?
Wow. Yeah. I didn't want a meal train. I didn't want anybody to know. I didn't want any help. I was Wonder Woman. I got this. So I get it. It's interesting. And I still struggle with how to give best advice on that, because it's really hard to just say, knock it off. Like to just tell people, like, stop doing that. My suggestion though is, you know what, find the one person in your space that you love and you trust to confide in, and start with just one, right? Rather than letting the whole community in when this is hard, one person, and then realize not only the gift for yourself, but I think it comes back to the gift that you give. You know, the friend of mine, her name was Lori, who actually went through all the treatments with me. What I learned through it, she actually needed to help me more than I needed her help. There was something she needed to resolve and she needed to put away through the experience of doing for me that was more important than driving me to treatments and making sure I got home safe.
Ooh.
So recognize also that sometimes when you let the people in that love you, you're actually providing them a gift that's really important for them. And we shouldn't be selfish to prohibit that gift back.
That's so good.
Start
And
with
you know,
one.
it's interesting that you say that because there's actually science behind that. Listen, we're all about the science. There's science behind that. That it actually says that when people help others, which we kind of talked about, but you're helping somebody else, or you're asking for help helps you, and the person who's helping you actually gets the whole dopamine hit and all those things from helping. So we're actually keeping people from their happiness by not asking for help.
That's right.
It's really true. And people, the other thing I'll suggest is people also don't know what to do. Okay. So twofold. One, tell them what you need. And if you're the person that wants to help, just ask and say, I want to help you. What may I do for you? And it's that lack of communication both directions that winds up hurting the person, right? Because we're afraid to say what we need and want, and that person is afraid to ask what they can do. Do both. And the worst thing that happens is somebody says, right now, nothing. But maybe in a week I might need you, and I'll call you knowing that you're willing.
Ooh,
that's
so
good.
All right, well, let's talk about your giveaway because I want to make sure
Okay.
folks know that we got something special for you all. So tell us about your book, Dr. Cindy.
So the book is called Positively Altered: Finding Happiness at the Bottom of a Chemo Bag. Wherever you buy books, you should be able to get it. And if you don't like to read, you have no excuse because I recorded an audio version. So you get to listen to 7.5 hours of me reading you the book. But today, I would love to give away a signed copy. And whoever wins, you'll let me know and I will autograph it.
Absolutely.
And also, I'm going to throw in an extra one because Dr. Javon, I would love to give one to you said it was your goddaughter, right?
Oh, don't make me cry. Yes.
No, because you just sharing that back with me was a gift for me. So if she is willing to read the book and whatnot, I'd love to gift a copy. But here's the deal. Please don't look at it just from a cancer standpoint. It was my memoir. It's a little funny, little sad, little self-help, little medicine, but mostly when life hands you crap, how you're going to come on the other side of it. You will learn more about me than you ever wanted to learn, but I promise there's a giggle or two in there. And even if you just open a chapter because you like the title, you'll probably get something from it. So do check it out. Don't be afraid of it just because cancer's in there. And one of my asks is just, let me know what you think. I love to hear what chapter resonates with people and how it helped you.
I love that. And so for anybody who's watching, leave your takeaways from this session in the comments to be entered in the giveaway. And we will make sure to get you that information, Dr. Cindy. Now, everybody wants to know how they can find you. So here's the information and let folks know the best way to find you.
Okay. So that's all my social. So you can connect with me that way for sure and follow me and become part of the community. But if you want to reach me directly, there's a couple emails and I'll even give you a phone number. So the office phone number is 708-479-0020. And the practice website is innovative, INNOVATIVE, HWC.com. The speaking, if you want to be part of the speaking community, my email is hello@Dr. Cindy Speaks, and Cindy is spelled the good old fashioned way, CINDY. So Dr. DrCindySpeaks.com. Or you can just go to drcindyspeaks.com. That is my speaking website. And there's an area in there where you can sign up for what I call my not so daily dose newsletter. We do not bombard you with 42 emails a day, but they're good newsletters with some good information. You are welcome to subscribe. And if at any time it's not information you want, you are also welcome to unsubscribe. And if there's anybody that feels that I would be a good fit, I love to speak and do workshops. It actually, that feeds my soul. So just send me an email and we can have a conversation about coming into the organization or your life and seeing how we can have some fun together.
Oh my gosh. I don't even listen. I'm just so, and I knew this was going to be a good conversation just because, again, when we connected your energy, but this just, I think it definitely fed Jovan. It definitely fed me. I know we've been getting some incredible comments from our listeners, from our audience, and we'll make sure to pass those on to you because, the one thing I'm clear about is that, you can say things, but you don't always know how it's impacting people. So it is important for you just know, like, my goodness, you have really made such an impact on everybody, ourselves, everybody listening today, and everybody who's going to watch the replay, because this was, even more than I expected to, but I knew it was going to be good. I knew it was going to be good.
What a way to
So
end it.
oh my gosh, this
No.
was the perfect way to
Yeah.
end our summit, like the final session. And we just want to thank you, Dr. Cindy, just for the courage that it took to turn one of the hardest seasons into your life, into an experience that could help the rest of us. Like, oh man, that is so good. And it's just a reminder, I think, to all of us that the story we tell matters, right?
Mhm.
And today you gave us 3 ways to start writing a better story.
Wow. Thank you, and you're welcome. The gift was also mine, and I appreciate the opportunity to experience now 59 minutes of joy.
That's good.
We will definitely be in touch. Dr. Cindy, thank you so much. And you all know how to get in touch with her. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Cindy. We'll let you get back to your patients now.
And I will.
And
I
tell them
will.
thank you for lending you to us.
I will. I will.
Gratitude. All right. Take care.
Take care.
Oh, that was so
Woo!
good.
Jovan, I don't
That
even
was
know what to
so
say after that.
good.
that was so good. And I think that's a thing that I have so loved about this summit and these
Mhm.
conversations.
Mhm.
Because, yes, we're people are feeling a lot of weight right now. There's a lot
Yeah.
of heaviness going on. But when you start having these conversations and hear about other people who've navigated it, come out on the other side.
Mhm.
And you already know with me, joy is absolutely a thing. So this was truly such a joyful conversation. Now you got me on the verge of tears because I'm like, hearing your testimonial.
Mhm.
It's so good.
It
It was so good.
was.
Yeah, yeah. So I just really want to remind everyone who's watching both the live and the replay that the session will remain available on LinkedIn, on YouTube. So if this conversation moved you the way that it moved us, right? We got
Mhm.
our eyes are sweating over here.
Yeah.
Definitely post it, share it with others, post it with the hashtag wellness is a we thing, hashtag soul therapy wellness summit. And then forward the replay to someone who is in a hard season right now
Yeah.
and just needs to be reminded that joy doesn't have to wait until that season is over. You can find, just
Mhm.
like Dr. Cindy said,
Mhm.
moments of joy in every single day.
Amen.
Um, and I also want to take a moment to celebrate everything that we've built over this past month. Oh man, we started this on May 5th with a vision that wellness is a we thing and sharing our story.
Yeah.
Um, and, 8 conversations, 8 extraordinary guests,
Mhm.
and one community that keeps showing up. So thank you for being here, but we're not yet done.
Not yet. So we told you guys that we want to continue the conversations. We have new conversations starting June 10th, and our live soul therapy wellness mixer is also coming to the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area in June. So everyone who's registered for the summit gets first access to the details and the tickets to the mixer. And so stand by. Announcements are coming soon. Stay tuned for that. As we always say, if you have not registered yet, the link is in the video description, soultherapymedia.com/summit 26. And of course, we got to thank our amazing co-hosts, the other two, Pierre Fenderson and Lakeisha Vinay, and to the Washington Informer, who's been our official media partner and trusted voice in our community for over 60 years. So we are just so happy, so excited about all of this and where we're going. And we're not done. We're going to keep the conversation going because the feedback has just been phenomenal. So we think that this is something that shouldn't just be limited to the month of May, but that we should continue this all throughout the year because we need wellness. Wellness is holistic. It's not just for the month of May. It's for the entire life cycle. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you want to get in touch with any of us, the co-hosts of the first Soul Therapy Wellness Summit, there's our contact information, soultherapymedia.com. goodnewsfinancialservices.com, theambitionstudio.com, and divinewinejelly.com. And we also want to thank each and every one of you who's tuned in this month for any of our wellness sessions. Your comments, your questions, your feedback, and even the breakthroughs that we've been hearing people are getting, whether it's live or we see it in the email follow-up. It just made this such a powerful and fun experience for us. And we couldn't have done this without you. So this month proved exactly why
wellness is a we thing.
Bye.
Have a great day, everybody.